right, keep going, Pat. What do you got? You got Alexi's apartment?
Yeah, we're at Alexi's apartment. Elena comes to visit. His apartment's a hot mess, so he like rinses his mouth with dish soap. Just all the standard like single sad guy.
Which is another question. Why does he and what's her name not keep in contact or live together? I mean, like,
I think
does she
she's
just
a little.
disappear?
I think, well, no, because later on she says, like, why didn't you find me? I think that he's a little ashamed.
Not Elena. What's the mom's name?
Oh,
well, they weren't really together.
I mean, they all lived together as a family Elena and what's her name?
But I mean, that was a mission.
Right.
Yeah.
But they seemed
they aren't even
rather
really
fond when
kids,
they were at But when they were at having dinner right before they went to their last mission in Black Widow, they seemed to be acting as a family, at least enough to like say, "Hey, I'll call you," or whatever.
Melina.
I'd like to know what happened with her.
Yeah,
I have her action figure.
Her ex, Brendan Fraser, showed up, and they went on an adventure to kill a mummy and a Scorpion King.
All right, so she'll be back in the
that would be
next
so
movie.
cool.
She will return in Scorpion King 3.
Rock's Revenge.
There's my Red Guardian, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that he has his own Red Guardian figure.
Action figure.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And that was the one from the 2-pack, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got both versions. I love Red Guardian. I have a costume. I have a full costume.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I remember I was wondering if you'd show up in costume, but I didn't want to put that on you like you need to.
Well, again, I forgot we were recording today, so.
You motherfucker!
But
perfect.
That's another. Okay, here's another like minor story thing for anybody who saw it. Red Guardian's costume in this is different. You guys know I love talking about superhero costumes. I think it's very clear that the intention of his new costume was that he modified parts of his old one, added new equipment, and handmade that. You can see the stitching in places. There's parts of it that look like sports gear. I would love that to have been included literally at some point, Yelena saying, "Did you change your costume?" Something like that.
Yeah,
that would have been pretty cool. Yeah, to acknowledge that. Also,
is interesting because I mean we're jumping all over here, but like in our post-credit scenes, he's just in a tracksuit kind of thing. He like, we get a couple redesigns on characters, and I'm like, okay, some of them are kind of interesting, some of them are just kind of like they're purposely bad. I feel like just to be like, oh yeah, we're doing it.
I think they saved that one.
Yeah, but that also goes to what he was doing like 15 minutes prior to that. He was just shopping, like he wasn't ready to go suit up for anything.
That's fair, but
you guys know they shot that like 4 weeks ago, right?
I mean, yeah, probably. I'm assuming that's why the beard's gone.
I mean they've talked about it. Like the Russo brothers shot that the final post credits thing where they're in the Watchtower on the set of Doomsday like 4 weeks ago.
So is he just wearing
the director of Thunderbolts? What was on set but didn't direct it?
Is he just stuffing his jacket? Because I mean, didn't David Harbour actually lose a ton of weight between that movie and like Stranger Things?
What's the Stranger Things you talk about? I suppose it could exist. Who knows? Like it's.
I was just saying, like he's lost a ton of weight since playing Alexei. So if they just shot it recently, I'm assuming they
padding. I'm sure.
Yeah,
he was
thinner in this movie than he was in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, too, like if like to someone else's point that
we're getting Superman mustache controversy going on here now.
Yeah. Bob is pretty cut for this movie later on, so it's like if Marvel's giving you the money to get in shape, if they're paying for your personal trainer and dietitian, you do it. You take advantage of it.
No.
And yeah,
it's quite the other way around though.
Belly thing.
Like they were like, we're going to eat cheeseburgers for this next shoot for 30 or was it 2 minutes worth of video. Get fat again.
I mean, hey, but also like if he just needed to wear a little bit of a fat suit and just it doesn't seem like it's something he has to change back and forth a lot for other roles. He could probably just pack on some some suit stuff. It could be in the
that's what I was assuming.
Yeah, I thought the beard can kind of cover that he's not literally as fat as his probably because they all wear a muscle suit underneath their costumes.
What? You just ruin it.
But I think that the shaving in the post-credit scene where he's just got the mustache in the grocery store is kind of to set up that he's gotten back a little bit in shape so that, David Harbour doesn't have to fluctuate or they don't have to pad him up so much. That's my guess.
That makes sense. Also, I wonder if they're just nodding at the fact that he's got a mustache. Hey, mustache. Yeah, we do that with reshoots. Mustache. You see that, Warner Brothers? Mustache.
It's just a big old double middle finger.
Pretty much. Keep going, Pat.
All right, Elena and Lexi have a moment. Elena is clearly not happy with her life, and Alexi tells her, you need to go be in front of the people and be a hero, and give her kind of like a half speech, and she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna go. So she leaves. She calls.
She takes it to heart.
Yeah,
because she does. Because she's like, are you fulfilled? He's like, yes, so full, so filled.
Yes.
Like that's like,
because she makes the call to be like, all right, I want to switch after this next mission.
Yeah, like I'll do like she sets up. Elena calls in Val and says, hey, I can do one more mission, and then I gotta have something a little more forward facing. 2 weeks away from retirement, go into my boat, the live forever.
All right, I'll do it.
Nothing bad's gonna happen to me now.
Yeah. So then we cut to Yelena's mission. She has been sent to go follow a spy and see what they're spying about, and then take care of the spy with the power of guns and spyness. So
we know
Yelena
it's Ghost,
sent. Do we know that at that point? I forget.
Yeah, because she also
we do
because
stuff. They say that she can phase through stuff.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe they say
no,
that
they don't.
The security won't be a problem for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to follow.
Like you don't walk into this place. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and Yelena, I don't think has ever encountered ghosts. So
no,
I mean, not
I just
on
mean
screen,
as the
but
audience.
we have. I'd say we've never seen it on screen, but there's any number of dossiers and debriefings she could have received while in the Red Room or even while working for Val.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so, but she seems kind of unaware of her powers though, and how to counter any of it.
I guess, but she's also like thrown off by there being two additional assassins there at the same time, because this is where
Walker doesn't show up until after she has trouble with what's her name, which is why he comes in to kind of almost save her inadvertently. She's struggling with what's her name.
No, Walker's there to kill Yelena.
Yes, but he inadvertently stops what's her name Ghost from killing Yelena.
Yelena and Ghost. Yelena is sent to go after Ghost. It turns out Ghost is
after Taskmaster. Yes, I was just saying, but it's rock paper scissors. Like
Taskmaster's going after John Walker. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And Ghost is going after Taskmaster.
Ghost is after Taskmaster.
Right.
Taskmaster's going at
the opening. But my point was that she doesn't seem to have any countermeasures to Ghost when she first encounters her. Like, so it wasn't like she's read about her and she's like, all right, this is how I can kind of stop her. She's struggling with her and almost gets killed until Walker shit. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well, you're the one that said that she had read about her somewhere.
I would imagine with the level of espionage and so forth that Yelena's been doing, that you would have heard about and known better understood her target than just let me go follow this random person into this building.
But that's literally what she does. Like she gets in there and she's like, oh shit.
I think Val set her up intentionally, not knowing anything. Because the whole point of this is that they could, be fighting amongst themselves while they get incinerated if they have to use the incinerator.
Yeah.
By the way, in the screenwriter talking about the versions that he worked on with, Taskmaster surviving, he said that Ghost kind of served as a big sister character to Taskmaster because she's been like Taskmaster, was kind of in programmed mode until recently, and not really herself. And then Ghost has kind of been dealing with this stuff her whole life. So she's kind of more used to the system. And I really would have liked to have seen that.
Cool.
Yeah. That would have been pretty cool.
You know what? There's a way to shorten that character arc. Just have her shoot her in the head.
Yeah,
just you know what? That's a lot of screen time. We got to cut time. Pop! Move on.
Also,
Kill her ass
if we shoot her while her helmet's on, we don't have to have the same actress be there. We just Power Rangers it and like, oh yep, they're
that's
dead.
The thing is they showed her, and they shot. I'm pretty sure they shot more stuff with her that's not in the final cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. I'm just saying that they gave themselves a nice, like, they wrapped it up at a nice little bow, and it is just to be like, oh, anything could happen, all these people could die, and then we're all kind of like, no, they won't. Like, we pretty much know that everyone here is still good, like, to the end. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel any fear. Like, they do that thing, like it's been done multiple times when Shepard Book dies in Serenity. Spoilers. That he that happens. It's like you kind of like, oh, anything could happen. Like, no, I'm pretty sure we're pretty good. And then, although that's a bad reference because there's actually some stakes in Serenity. Anyways, point being, it didn't really make me feel like, oh, anyone's in danger here.
Well, especially for the type of movie that this becomes immediately after she dies. Like, almost immediately after she dies, they all become friends. And I'm like, if you'd have just waited 2 more minutes, she could have been part of the friend group.
Hey, man.
Yep.
Sometimes one assassin's better than the other 3. Only one of them did their job.
Yeah, and it feels like no one dealt with that at all.
I mean, they're all murderers.
They were murderers until literally to that point. After that point, none of them were murderers.
They're still murderers. They've murdered a lot of people. All of them have. We've seen it.
No, I'm saying going forward, they seem to have been
absolved.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
her murder was like the last. Like, oh, this is where we will all take our break and become good people now.
I mean, they all get disillusioned with with what's going on. So they're like, wait a minute, we're gonna get killed here? Like, no, let's. That's when which is definitely something that comes back at the end of the movie that I have a qualm with. But like, they essentially say like, oh no, we all know Valentina enough to know that we're all here to hurt each other. Let's hold up and let's think about this for a second.
Mel, these are defective losers. Antisocial tragedy in human form. You know, honestly, I cannot think of a worse group of people trying to work together. My God.
Right.
And I will say, there's definitely not going to be an end to MCU superheroes murdering people constantly. You know, like, it's really funny to me how in Captain America, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know, obviously the cold-blooded, I don't know if you'd call it cold-blooded, but the rage killing that John Walker does in public is treated with the seriousness that murdering civilians should be. But Sam is like throwing people out of helicopters at the start of that movie, you know? Like, Black Widow shoots people constantly with guns. Tony Stark has little missiles that target people with AI and shoot right out of his shoulders. Like, there's definitely not going to be an end to MCU superheroes murdering everybody that they feel is expendable.
He's out of line, but he's right.
But the guy with John Walker surrendered, and he used the shield to do it. That's true.
I know it's gross.
The shield.
Yeah.
If you blow him up, then like, I don't have to see anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
It looks like they're asleep.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So they tussle, and then we introduce to Bob, pops up out of the side, like, wait, who's that guy? And then there's Bob.
Well, that's because Yelena bumps into his thing and like opens it by accident.
Yeah, well, she's thrown into it by, I want to say Walker, but in the tussle and stuff like that, it knocks it open, and the heat seal that will protect Taskmaster later on is broken,
right?
And then out hops Bob, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just a random guy here, thrown up. Don't mind me." And then they're like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Let's give a pause and think about what we're doing here."
I liked the actual fighting in that.
Yeah, the fight scene itself is very good.
Yeah, it's good.
It was thoughtful. It was definitely thoughtful.
Yeah. When Thor and Iron Man and Cap all fought Avengers movie, it kind of reminded me of that, where it's testing each other,
Mhm.
You're breaking up a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah.
definitely agreed. It was well done.
Well, and
So
it
they
also
have-
just kind of it at least shows you some of the improvisation that at least most of these assassin characters have, because you start to see them figure out each other's moves, especially you can get to the point where just someone throw a knife, I think it is, or a sword or some sort.
Yeah.
Elena throws a knife.
The knife is the
It's-
sequence I was thinking. It goes through Ghost and then gets caught by US agent
Walker,
and
right?
throws it back.
Yeah.
Well, it goes through Ghost and she phases and then unphases fast enough to grab the knife as it passes through her, throws it at her target.
Taskmaster uses the shield.
Yeah.
That flicks it towards Walker, who then
John
throws
Walker.
it
He grabs it and tries to stab Elena. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good
That's great.
circle of attack.
The old round robin.
That's pretty cool.
But it ends with Taskmaster getting shot in the head by.
Damn it!
And just like it after, like, oh, got her.
Figured if we could talk long enough and keep her alive.
Nope. No, she's dead. She's not. She's burnt up to a crisp. No funeral. She didn't even get like the Black Widow mentioned during someone else's funeral.
I know. Jeez. Just did her
Just
so
like-
dirty.
Played for the lulz.
I'm curious if part of that is too because the fans reacted so poorly to her in the last movie. And I say the fans when I should use a much more derogatory term, because a lot of people really shat on her character and the reveal. And
Yeah, the
all
quote
of it.
unquote fans.
Yeah, the quote unquote fans. And I'm curious if it's like, because she didn't have, there's no, like, there were less people out there buying Taskmaster shirts than they were, US agent shirts. So was that a response for them to be like, okay, who's the expendable one?
The angry white guy got his shirt sold?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Color me shocked.
Are you not aware of what's who our president
on
is?
Twitter saying John Walker was right.
Yeah.
Right about what?
Yeah, I think that kind of like the
Killing Muslims.
Mandalorian. Yeah, just killing anybody brown.
Yeah.
Wake up, nigga.
What I
Come on,
think
Pat.
people were supporting with that character. I think that the response to Taskmaster, it was similar to me to the response to the Mandarin. I think I'm one of the few people that liked the version of the Mandarin Iron Man 3 because I love that movie. I thought it was great. I loved it. The reveal was so cool to me.
Yeah, and it's hard to try and
I thought the reveal of
reconcile
Taskmaster was cool, so.
Yeah. And it's hard to reconcile the character of the Mandarin in modern day standards in the format that he was originally conceived versus the joke, I guess the throwaway line they throw in Shang-Chi. So it's like there's a lot of different aspects to kind of look at that lens through. So it's not an easy sell.
Well, and I think in the context of the Black Widow movie,
defending.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
In the context of the Black Widow movie, she made the most sense, though. If they're all trained to be assassins, wouldn't she be the ultimate of the Red Room assassins, the one that can mimic everybody?
I think you hit on the spot really quickly before you even realized it, simply by using the pronoun she, that the fact that it was a woman completely erases all the value to...
Boo!
Boo this man!
Boo! Boo! Poo! Poo!
Fair enough.
Like, how dare you make the Red Skull knockoff character? I don't know. That's the way I thought of the Taskmaster back when I was reading comics, because the first issue I saw of Taskmaster was an Amazing Spider-Man cover where it's like split face between half Red Skull, half Taskmaster, and I'm like, what is this nonsense? It's just like the discount Red Skull.
I called him. What was he? He was Captain Skeletor when I first started reading it.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's when in reality he's like
into
the Jackie Chan of
Taskmaster
like
through Deadpool comics,
which is a good. Yeah, later on I definitely got into those books and I enjoyed him in the corollary to Deadpool. Also, then later on in the corollary to him with Grady, the irredeemable Ant-Man, like he plays well with other characters. It nowadays in my head, but as of my first introduction was just from that. And it was, I mean, it's a very specific because it's also like Peter Parker's parents who are alive in that because of their Red Skull CIA storyline they created. Hey man,
well, you know, Peter Parker's parents picked a pack of pickled peppers, right?
Got him! Got him!
Exactly.
Precisely.
But yeah,
keep going, Pat.
All right. So while they're all realizing that, oh, we've been set here to be set up to all be murder, death, killed because we're all Valentina's loose ends, and they discover this random guy, Bob, just chilling there and have no idea how he got in there. And by the side note, Bob and U.S. Agent just immediately start fighting. Like
I love that.
Is a dick throughout this entire film. He does a very good job of being a dick, but he is a dick. We do cut to.
Gotta love Wyatt Russell in this role, right?
Yeah, he does a really good job.
You know, like I don't want to be complimenting a Hollywood nepo baby, but good grief, he's wonderful. He's just, I mean, I'm not one to talk to normally do this, but I mean, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, that's combo right there. This kid, he's excellent in this role. I've liked him in other stuff where he's the good guy, but the pure dickishness of John Walker is perfected in this performance. I love it.
Yeah, no, his selfishness is it's beautiful to watch in this, especially as he just keeps going after Bob too.
I mean, on the note of nepo babies, like there's some of them take it in stride and acknowledge it, like him and Jack Quaid. They're like, yeah, we know, we get it. And then there's some who are like, no, how you can't say such thing. I'm Dakota Johnson. I am royalty. Like, no, you can't. Like some of them take it and acknowledge it.
Yeah, Jamie
Lee
Curtis is one.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah, and it's like I really appreciate like Jack Quaid in that same note has been a lot of fun in a lot of projects, and I've seen him take it with a good heart. Like he knows, like I've had a lot of advantages, and I'm gonna take them, but I acknowledge them. Like cool, at least he's acknowledging it. Like that's fair.
Yeah, I think it also helps if you're
I appreciate
good,
that too. Yeah,
you say it really helps that he's so cute. I agree.
No, well that too, but
no, good.
If you're good.
Oh, good. Yes, yeah. It does really help if you're good.
See, I think Dakota is bad, and she tries to downplay.
What?
Like,
no, she's great. She's great.
What?
She
No,
think about the good
especially
movies,
after
like
spending
Madam
time in the
Web.
Amazon while she was studying spiders.
God, would you bring this up?
Great. I mean, I'm sure she's been in other films at some point.
Was she like one of those New Year's Eve or Valentine's Day, or he's just not
probably
one
everybody's
of
legally required to be in those
ensemble movies.
In any event, Dakota Johnson notwithstanding, we'll talk about the other nepo baby right now. We cut to a gala that Val is throwing on, I guess to win votes for her impeachment. I'm a little confused why we're having a gala, what we're raising money for, but Congressman Barnes is there.
Well, no, she had to. Yeah, it's a disguise. It's to cover for her getting rid of the rest.
It's an alibi.
Yeah.
She has to have an alibi. Be like, oh yeah, I'm here with you, showing off all these artifacts while we all
not
talk
destroy
about
my labs.
Yeah, well, I finish off the last of the Ox stockpile.
This is where we have the it's all Battle of New York artifacts throughout it as well. So it's just like looks like what's left of the scepter, but after the Infinity Stone.
It would have been really cool to just see Kingpin walking around in the background then at that point.
Right? Like that's only because we really loved the, Born Again, but yes, I agree.
So and this I forget it takes place in DC, not New York. So this part
the gala does.
Oh, fair enough.
So yeah, he wouldn't be there.
I mean,
where was it? Yes.
He is the mayor. Okay.
Cameo still could have worked. Yeah.
He's busy declaring martial law. He doesn't have time to go.
He could do it
some
remotely.
Politicians actually put in the work. Okay.
I'm sure he could put up a truth social somewhere and be like, "Oh, the martial law. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See you later. I don't want to be here. It's martial law."
Well, no, I mean, him working with Val to enact and restructure that martial law with the director of the CIA, like that I could see that happening. Like hypothetically, a president could be like, let me just have the FBI do my dirty work and do this.
We saw what the president tried to do with fucking Mayor Eric Adams. Like, oh, I'll blackmail you into doing what I need you to do. You get a lot out of the mayor.
I was thinking about President Ritson, but yeah, fair enough. No, I'm not. Anyways,
President Red Hulk.
President Red Hulk. There we go.
Pull.
That gives him too much power.
He's the Red Hulk. Does he need any more power?
Hulky smash. All right. So this is also where we see the scene where Bucky goes to the lead congressman on the lead representative on the impeachment hearing. Yes. and like is going all covert, not pervert.
Covert.
My brain.
That's a covert pervert.
Potatoes. He's a covert pervert.
And he's a congressman. What are the odds?
Covert.
Yeah,
fair enough.
He's a covert pervert.
Numbers wise, we're just destined.
Yeah.
Destined. Numbers wise, where the odds are 90% of the time.
Yeah.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So Val is then informed by Mel, or I'm sorry, first Bucky actually has a conversation with Mel, Val's assistant, letting her like, hey, you want to get out of this and tell me anything and not
possibly have sex with an old man.
Yeah. Hook up with a 90-year-old. Nice.
I didn't read it as a hookup thing at all.
No, That's it wasn't. Funny. I'm being a pervert. No. I'm being a pervert.
Okay. You're a pervert?
Yeah. Covert pervert.
Yep. Just your cover's been blown, pervert.
It has.
There is a weird like not necessarily like because he's trying to charm details out of her, but it's not like but he's also not good at it. And like he's
trying to that immediately.
Right. And that's where the vibe that you're trying to I'm trying to save you, Kareem. That's where the vibe you're picking up on is he's just like, you should really trust me. I'm pretty awesome. And he's just like
I really liked Bucky's ineptitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever we still don't know where Steve Rogers is.
Fuck
but
Rogers. I'm tired of hearing about this guy.
You're tired of hearing about all these cis white males. What's this agenda you're trying to push?
It really goes to like one of the other points I have, and I'll just bring it up now, is that we've been told for I don't know when was Endgame?
So it would be 8 years in universe.
Right? Yeah. We've been told for at least the last 8 years now, that the Avengers aren't coming back. So I'm like, stop talking about it. They keep, everyone's like, oh, are they going to form a new event? They keep.
Well, this was the movie where it made sense.
Sort of, except we've known through every movie that they've made since this that the Avengers are going to come help. Everyone's like, oh, where's Captain? Like they've mentioned that they've talked to him or wherever he's at, and he's not going to help.
Yeah.
Like, stop bringing it up. You guys have been hobbling yourselves.
We literally don't know where Steve Rogers is.
But it doesn't matter because he's not going to do. It's like saying, "Where's Paul Walker at in the Fast and Furious movie?" It doesn't matter because he's not showing up. So stop talking about him not showing up in every movie.
I don't mind that because I want to know the story logic for why Steve Rogers isn't helping. Like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we had people thinking that he's on the moon. Yeah, but he's a super soldier. No knowledge. Like, is that what it is? Is he too old? Did he die? They act like he died. And then there's a rumor that he's on the moon, and we've never gotten any answers since Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
But that's what I'm saying. I felt like
every movie, including Captain America, I thought we had an answer.
Well, again, Bucky's implied that he's kept up, like they've talked. I don't know how often they talk, but he's implied that, like, I've spoken with him, he's not going to help. He said it a couple times, and I'm like, again, if you're going to form the new Avengers, stop talking about how the old ones aren't showing up. We get it. Like, they're not showing up, so start focusing and forming the new ones. But every movie we keep getting, they're like, every time there's a catastrophe, like, oh, we don't have the Avengers to protect us. The Avengers aren't here to help us. The Avengers won't be coming back. I'm like, stop. We get it. We left them at Endgame.
I'm sorry, man, but I think in the movie that is supposed to reveal at the end that these are the new Avengers. They're gonna do that. That's why I say this is the one where it makes sense. I can see why you're burned on it from the last, I don't know, 7 years, but this was the time that I didn't mind it.
Well, hold on. How is this the time and not the Eternals?
Because they're not the Avengers.
But I'm saying if there's ever going to be a time where you call in the Avengers, it's when a giant god comes out of the middle of your planet.
Right, but they also never.
They don't
never
have a
face the
relationship
public
with the
at all.
Avengers.
The Earth does.
They talk about the Avengers in that, but
they also don't have any public-facing entity. Like they never did an interview. Like people didn't even know that things were happening with them there, that's story issues. But like there's never a point where someone put a camera in front of them and said, "Who are you?" And they could have said, "We're the Eternals." And
like I don't know if the public even knows about the Eternals.
Yeah, they know
in real life. In real life, the public doesn't know about the Eternals.
Yeah,
so why would they know?
Fair enough.
He's out of line, but he's right.
My point though is
all their action figures are ollies for.
You have what could be the only people that could stop whatever's coming out of the middle of the Earth. You would call on them, right? You'd be like, "Hey, shit! Like something's happening, big."
Yeah, but who would you have say that in the story?
No one knew that they had any part to
Eternals.
do with that.
We were in. That whole movie is from the point of view of the Eternals, not from Americans,
But I'm saying the actions are happening, and as soon as the actions are happening, you think they're again. I understand that you didn't want to involve the Avengers.
But so who do you cut to say that is what I'm asking?
Anybody that's still on planet Earth.
No one even knew. Like literally, we didn't see them interacting with any members of the public to be like. There's no one with a camera to say
in the logic of the movie.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you, but you're saying this is the movie where
quite the opposite.
Yeah,
no, my disagreement isn't with the logic of
the
movie.
think the
you're saying that if any movie was going to talk about the Avengers, that this was, and I'm like, but the one where the thing comes out of the middle of the Earth is where you would really want to call the Avengers on anything, aside from what we just saw in what was it? The most recent Captain America. You call the Avengers for that too.
I think
okay.
I think what you're saying makes sense if you live on that planet, if you live in the MCU, but it doesn't make sense for the movie because there's no one to have that point of view in the.
It doesn't make sense in any movie.
Like if you and I lived in the MCU, there definitely were people in the MCU that had this conversation. Like we should call the Avengers, but there's no one to show that conversation within the movie. Whereas in this movie. It makes sense for the story logic and the characters,
I'll also say too for the Eternals, as far as the public would have known, like nothing happens in that entire movie publicly until the very end when a hand and a head come out of the earth and then are stopped within 15 minutes. So the moment we're off screen, they would have said, "Where are the Avengers?" Oh, it's already done. Like it's an earthquake. Like we have an earthquake here, and by the time you're like, "Oh, we should call," like, "Oh, it's over." Okay, so. In that 15-minute frame, you're like, "Oh, we could have called the Avengers." Like it's already over. The hand's done growing, so we're kind of, let's call them because we have to deal with this giant hand thing and head. But in the movie, there's not like a consistent level of events where they're doing this and they're doing that. And they're going around all the Earth and people are seeing it happen. Like it's all very isolated in that movie. All those actions that happen in the Eternals are fairly self-contained. So. By the time that something big happens that's a earth-shaking event, it's over within, I think, literally probably 15 minutes that happens, and then that's done.
I will say
they get. It's been a while since I watched the movie, though, too. So I'll give me that.
Yeah, me too. But to Kareem's point, at some point, just like I think we should get some sort of answer as to where the hell Steve Rogers is. Did he go back to his alternate universe with Peggy, or is he on the moon doing something with Sword or whatever? I agree that, we like they could show us a scene where they called in Bruce Banner or somebody from the Avengers to look into that stuff. And that's how, President Ross knows it's a Celestial, from talking to people who have dealt with space stuff.
At what point did they find like the diary of Icarus and be like, "Oh shit, there's all these notes here about guys, I figured it out. That's an Eternal up there."
Do any of us want to watch that movie?
No, not at all. Not even. I don't even want to watch that like short film. Like back when Marvel was doing those the one shots.
I don't want to watch it, but you keep mentioning how the Avengers aren't coming to save us. You've said it for 7 years throughout. I don't know. Let's see. You said it in Spider-Man: No Way Home. You said it again in Shang-Chi. You said it again in Doctor Strange. Like, you keep saying it when there's things that happen on Earth. Like, oh, they're not going to come save us. Move on, or explain it, but stop dropping in like, oh, we don't have the Avengers. Like, yeah, we know you don't, and you don't have anything to replace them just yet. But you've been saying it for 7 years.
I mean, the same thing could be said.
But
like,
do you understand what I'm saying? That in the movie where you are going to have a new Avengers team form, that it makes logical story sense.
Yeah, no, that does. But it also does make sense that Parker didn't show up anywhere, any version of Parker in this New York situation with the Void or whatever. Like, I'm like,
New York is in lockdown. He's not going to leave. He's a law-abiding citizen.
When was New York in lockdown?
During Born Again.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But it wasn't during this.
This is set. No, we don't know. That's the other side of this, is we don't know what the timelines are technically. So that's just another kind of.
Well, we know it's after the blip, so he's around somewhere.
Right. It's post blip. It's post mind blip that we had from No Way Home as well. But I'm just saying,
yeah. So he should be floating around somewhere to be like, okay, I should probably call somebody or get some help with this.
He was in Soho at this time, so he was pretty far away. Again, this stuff, the time frame in which this takes place, he didn't have time to get all the way over to.
Well, that was my note, was that at some point they're gonna have to, they don't have to do shit. They can do whatever they want. But I felt like they should at least establish geographical regions and start placing some of these events elsewhere to at least compensate for the fact, like, hey, this superhero is not going to either be here in time to help, or we're not in their backyard, because you've established that this is an interconnected universe, but half the people just aren't showing up.
So how non-comic booky do you want your comic book movie? Because this is a problem in comic books in general. Like, this is just how this works. It's part of the suspension of disbelief. Like, what do you want it to where everything is mapped out? You know where everyone is, and every time anything happens, they have to say, "Oh, where's Spider-Man? Well, he can't be here. Well, where's where?" Yeah.
But also,
go ahead.
How far down that rabbit hole you want to go?
The inverse of that is also, we have Wolverine in 4 books, so you're never going to get that. like, there's going to be a Wolverine in the New Avengers, in his book, as well as an X book, and also making a guest appearance in the Silver Surfer issue for some reason. So it's like, you can't, like, you have to let go of that expectation. You have to be like, you know what, we're whatever for the story today. Let's keep going.
No,
She-Hulk,
but I'm saying
it depends on whether it makes story sense, I guess.
I mean, you could have hosted this, and it doesn't have to be in New York. It could have been in Texas. It could have been in Japan. It could have been in Canada. It could to nullify the fact that some of these Avengers who could have been there were elsewhere. To be like, all right, these people, you're not in their backyard, which means that they wouldn't have been there in time to help out, whatever the big occurrence is. Or you explain where the fuck they are.
I mean, they can explain where the fuck they are in their own movies. Like, we get Doctor Strange 3, we're not another.
Yeah, what was Doctor Strange in this movie?
He was fighting incursions with Clea.
Literally, I was getting to. Like, that's why I was talking. He was in the Dark Dimension. Done.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very. There are not a lot of light there.
Yeah, they just drop that line.
I've got a lot of patience for future writers to figure some of this stuff out, and I think that you kind of, in some situations in the MCU, don't want to box yourself in too hard, explaining everything. Like in Far From Home, when Spider-Man's in Europe and they're like, what about Thor? He's unavailable, stuff like that.
But Thor is like, he's otherworldly. That he's always gone doing Asgardian
but
things. That makes more sense.
If you gave like a specific thing instead of just saying they're busy, then you've locked yourself in, and the future writer has to use that or deal with it in some way. I think usually big superhero events are happening fast and people are just trying to grapple with them as best they can. When it makes sense and you've got time to talk about, why can't we get this person? Maybe it's either funny or logical for characters to talk about it, but it doesn't always have to happen.
It doesn't, but I think what the MCU at least started doing early on was that the climax the height of urgency for the villains in these movies was leveled, so that you didn't need interference from other superheroes. Then obviously you get an exponential boost in that when the Avengers show up. But now it's seeming like, the Void taking over most of New York is a warning call to any superhero to be like, shit, something big is happening. And if you think about the first Iron Man,
Well,
it's
maybe
like
they
you
all
didn't
got turned into shadows.
Yeah, maybe.
You just didn't see that in in Jersey City, that Kamala was using her light gauntlets to keep all of the darkness at bay. That's just waiting for Ms. Marvel season 2, which I can't wait for. But like that's
I
like
love
that
that
type
idea.
of stuff. Yeah, isn't it cool? But like that's the
That
type
would
of
be
stuff
great.
like I think that it's just they're leaving space for other writers to do something else down the line. And I get that like there is that impulse to say like, well, where was, because I mean, we jokingly say like, shouldn't the city be locked down because of Daredevil? But we also know like they're just gonna say like, oh, the events of Thunderbolts take place 6 months after Daredevil Born Again season 1, and season 2 will slot in between that or something, because they'll just kind of be like, oh, we're just gonna drop that in there and not, we just have to be open to it. Like I get it, but we just kind of take it like there's no like little box in the bottom like, hey, editor Nick, this is a reference to issue 25 of this. Like we don't have that outside of. I feel like some movies done that by now, but
again,
maybe not.
I just felt like that was at least more mapped out in the first run up to the Avengers. That was at least a heavier consideration than what we're getting, where it's like this event's happening, that event's happening, like. Where exactly does this happen in between what happens to the fucking Capitol?
Can I?
Like, is the Capitol?
Do you have a point of reference for that?
Destroyed? Well, yeah,
I
guess
have a reference
they
just
For
saying like,
she mentions that the Hulk is locked up or something like that.
She mentions like, and the Lex president turned into a giant red rage monster.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, to your point, is there a moment in a previous film where they said, oh, we can't have this because it was this, and it was a reference to another thing? Like we had stuff like in Age of Ultron where Thor goes into a dream thing to understand Ultron's impending doom, but it's supposed to be setting up the next movie of his. And it's like that stuff didn't land very well when we tried to make it that interconnected. And then we got like it I think that,
but again, that was still off world. That if you're going to be exploring that has that'd be something. Maybe if you brought in Loki and you were going back to Asgard and you were dealing with that situation. I'm saying here on Earth, when things are happening in people's backyards, specifically in New York, or areas where other superheroes can get to, and you don't acknowledge them, and you keep saying, oh, the Avengers are going to help you, you're starting to just pull apart the universe that you put together, saying, hey, all these people are playing around in their backyard, and when they need to come together for big events, they do. Instead, they're saying, all right, well, don't worry about the big events. They'll figure these big events out on their own.
To your point, there's just 2 superheroes, maybe 3 if you count Punisher. They could be in this event, in this time frame, and their Spider-Man is street level. As much as we like love him and he's fought aliens in space,
he fought Thanos. I don't think he's street level anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was saying, he fought people, aliens in space, but to a certain level, Spider-Man is a street level character. Like he's fighting guys like this Shocker, and like he's fighting guys who are street level. That's kind of his sweet spot. So him being over in Soho or in Midtown and just happens to get shadowed while all that happens. Also, contractually, we can't have Spider-Man because Sony isn't ready to play ball 100%. So we know that, and that's why we had the goofy ending of like, I'm going to wipe everyone's memory, and even Peter Parker doesn't exist because
I am too smart. I am too smart. I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
I
already
voiced
working
my opinion
on 4 now. But,
I know, but I still have my dislike.
I think to Kareem's
the
point, the more characters we get as the MCU is developed for the last, what is it? Almost 20 years, like 18 years, 17 years.
17
then
now.
We've ended up with so many characters, which is very comic accurate. The more, the merrier. The more the Marvel Merry Marching Band, merrier.
Nice.
It would make sense for people to at least acknowledge that there are other people, or to see what they're doing. But it didn't bother me with the through line of this film being like the perspective of the people we're talking about. Also, I'm interested specifically in Peter, whether or not, like, wasn't he applying to go to City College at the end since he didn't get into MIT?
I think so.
I think there was like a college application next to a Chinese takeout container.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still speaking of that though, not to derail us too much, but before we got on the call, a couple of us were talking about how there are people who liked this movie like we did, but then or say, oh, it's like the first good Marvel movie since Endgame, or there haven't been any good Marvel movies since Endgame. And there have been some ones that clunked harder, but there's also been No Way Home, Deadpool, and Wolverine. What are you talking about? These are huge, huge billion-dollar hits that were crowd pleasers with great Rotten Tomatoes scores. There have been good Marvel things since Endgame.
Oh, definitely.
But it's the talking point that people want to lay on at this point, especially anytime there's a not as good one that comes out like Captain America. Then
but it's also
old.
To further that narrative, though, you're also dismissing movies like Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was cool.
Yeah, as a
Marvel
standalone, it's
Shang-Chi.
great. That's a discussion for another day. But it's like they're still giving him a paycheck because they brought him back into What If, and like they're still keeping him like on the back burner, so I appreciate that.
They're keeping Mahershala Ali or whatever on the back burner too.
He's out now.
Is he officially out, or they just scrapped the project? I think he's still in the.
They scrapped the project. Like I think Bob Iger confirmed it's off the agenda.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm not 100% on that. David Goyer now, I think because of that, David Goyer is saying, I'll write it. There was like an interview with him the other day.
He can. I disliked him for quite some time, but especially after he's like, if you like She-Hulk, you're a pervert. Not even a covert pervert. You're just a pervert.
Not even a pervert.
Oh, not a pervert.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was at I think he was at Comic-Con. He's like, oh, She-Hulk's not a good character. If you like her, you're just a pervert who wants to see a girl in green. I'm like, and I'm like, dude,
if you were a fan of his age who just knows the John Byrne nude jump roping cover, I can see why you might think that. I don't want to give him too much of a pass because I'm not a huge fan either, even though he's been a part of many good things. I usually credit.
But the question becomes like, out of the entire pantheon of female heroes and villains in comics, like, you can get that anywhere. Like, She-Hulk isn't unique in that matter, though, is she?
No, but she's one of the more.
I feel like Psylocke is more fantasy than any, the way she's dressed and the way she's always stylized.
Right, sure. I would agree with you in terms of her costume and character, but she literally hasn't had a nude jump roping cover, and She-Hulk has.
Fair
so
enough.
If you grew up reading in the 80s, you might think like, oh, this is a book for perverts, and you might have not even read it, So I'm not. I doubt he's read the Dan Slott legal, multiversal thriller stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was she wasn't naked jump roping on the cover. Why would he read that?
Right.
Yeah. And as far as David Goyer goes, I just feel like he's adapted better stories into passable ones for the common man, and that's his strength. Is he's like, oh, I can take better stories and then cobble them together for the common audience. Yeah, I'll water them down for the common audience.
You have the
that's me on my
and then you have water
anti-David Goyer because
I'm right there with
really
you.
rubbed me the wrong way.
Yo, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know how we got on. You got a couple more points.
We're not even halfway through the movie.
Yeah,
it speeds up. It speeds up.
No, we may need a part 2, gentlemen. Oh yeah. Now Val finds out.
Patrick, say that again.
All right. Where we left off was that Bucky was talking to Mel, trying to turn her, and she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Gives her his business card, says, well, think about it. You start to see the cracks form. Val then is leaving the gala with Mel and finds out, oh, so they're all in the room together. Incinerate them, burn them, light them on fire. Let's end this right now. That is when they realize, oh, Val is going to kill us. And you can see Mel starts to have questions about what they're doing and Val is the one that hits the button to activate the incinerator. So the room starts heating up. For some reason, John Walker is still in denial. Like, nah, she's not going to kill me. She would never do that. No, I'm here to end this mission.
The temperature rising dramatically as if heat was involved.
Okay, it's an incinerator.
But the room is getting
Yeah.
They realize they need to get out right now, so they try and send Ghost out, but Val has some sort of weapon,
machine.
Some sort of sound weapon that messes with Ghost's powers and knocks them all flat on their asses. So
with all their powers, like it did the Hulk.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Eardrums.
It really only messes with Ghost. It just kind of annoys everybody else.
Yeah. So they have to find the power source to cut that off. They do just in the nick of time. Ghost jumps out of the room and they're waiting for her to open the door. They think she's abandoned them and they're all like, you can see Elena literally accepting her death, which is like, she does need to talk to someone. She is very depressed.
It's pretty
and
dark.
At the last second, Ghost opens the door and they can all get out of there. They do not take Taskmaster's body, so we assume she is burnt to a
They didn't have time to
be seen again.
And if they would have turned around, they would have saw her jumping into the sentry crate.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I would call it.
That was across the room.
Yeah.
So they have now escaped the room.
Just to let you know at this point, too, that Ghost isn't on their team. She just couldn't find the way to the elevator. She had to go back and get everybody else.
Oh, the elevator wasn't working. It was
That's
like
right.
it was.
She couldn't get it to work, so she was like, all right, might as well let the rest of you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it was at the last second. So they all escape. John and Bob almost come to blows because John is still talking that shit. And when Yelena grabs him to calm him down, suddenly she's taken into a memory, like one of the worst memories of her life. No?
After the explosion, when the explosion throws them out,
she lands on him.
She lands on him and they're holding hands.
That's right. They land and they're holding hands, and then that takes her into the memory. Then they fight Bob and so they go into a memory of like basically Yelena's first kill, where she sets up her friend to be murdered.
Mm-hmm.
So Yelena's reliving that, and then I believe she sees Bob there, right?
He shows up at the end.
Yeah, he's like hanging out in the memory with her, like, hey,
yeah,
that's weird.
And then
they
wakes
snap
up
out of it. Yeah.
Then we got Bucky and Mel on the phone because Mel's like, hey, there's some stuff that's going on. You're kind of right. Just track my location. And he's like, okay, let me pull my arm out of the dishwasher.
That's where we get the funny scene where he spills whatever the hell he's eating all over himself. I don't know what that was.
Hey, he's eating an Italian sub. Hey.
Whatever it was, I think he was just basically digging sauce with his fingers and then dropped it all over himself.
He was just eating
a little
red
something for the lady, just like getting saucy tonight.
And then, but it only sets up the scene where he has to dishwash his arm.
Right, which is funny. But you know, have you heard what's his face who plays Bucky? What's his name?
Sebastian
Stan.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard Sebastian Stan? He talked about how he didn't get that joke and thought it was dumb. And, you know, like, it's just a dumb thing that kind of brings you into the real lifeness of being a ex-Hydra assassin with a cyborg arm and a super soldier serum, you know. That just makes him feel more grounded in the real world and is silly. But he didn't want to shoot it. And the director had to convince him. Yeah.
Do you think he asked
he likes it now
in Wakanda if it was dishwasher safe?
Oh, I would love if they sat it down and said it was. Tumble dry only.
Yes. Tumble dry low.
Otherwise, you're
vibranium's impervious to all damage, but not all detergents.
Use fabric softener.
No, don't use fabric softener. That's the worst thing you can do. Fair enough. It's the only thing destroy vibranium.
So they could have at least had water spots on it for the rest of the movie.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
So then we cut to the team deciding how do they get up the elevator shaft with no elevator. They talk about how Ghost is like, well, why can't you just like phase up? And she's like, no, because I can only do it for a minute, so I could end up in a wall or something. And like, you know,
well then Walker tries to jump it up.
Walker tries to jump it and then just comes straight back down, which is hilarious. He's like,
That was
I got
great.
this. Jumps.
That was a good jump.
Boom.
That was pretty. He goes pretty far.
That was a good jump.
Yeah.
So,
which is interesting. Now that we're thinking about it, how come nobody else has any memories as they're all touching Bob on the way up? Or at least two of them are touching Bob.
Bob has to
be
activated.
It does. It seems like it's passive.
I think there's a. What were you gonna say?
Well, because what's her name? Is it Valentina? She touches him. He doesn't touch her. Like I feel like if anybody touches him, it happens.
I think that it's involuntary. I think it's involuntary, but I also think that maybe he like it's. I mean, if it's maybe could be overstimulating that there's too many people touching him, so that it doesn't initiate. Because each time that where he touches a person, it's solo. It's like he's just when we get to the top of the shaft at one point, Bob grabs Walker's hands, and that's when they have their of like but it's a solo thing. So it's like maybe in a world where he's overstimulated, it doesn't occur, and then maybe I'm just using not buzzwords, but I'm using terms because of growing knowledges of autism and how people stim. I'm learning certain new things, so it's like my brain goes, oh, it's overstimulating, so nothing happens. Like he tenses up, so he's not. That power won't activate.
Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead.
I thought he had to be agitated for the power to activate. So like it's after the explosion it first initially activates, and he has no he's dazed, and then it's when he almost falls to his death. That's the next time it activates, and then it activates Val when she's like
he's
buttering him up, and like he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, that's a good take too.
And he never has
those are both good theories.
He never has a moment with Ghost, does he? Though.
No. Yeah, I'm sure there was stuff in the script for a couple of them, but obviously they're like, we only have so much time. I would have loved a Red Guardian one too, where he's like, "This is great. I love this place."
It would have been sad. It would have been so sad.
No, it would have been very sad.
So sad.
Yeah.
It would have been like
I would love to know what it would have been, though.
I think
it would have just been a flashback to him back in his underwear watching his parade again.
Yeah,
I think the same scene
from him would have wrecked him again.
That would be so funny.
All right. Where are we at? So we're at the top of the shaft.
They're able to get to the top of the shaft by interlocking arms and crawling up. They didn't figure out how to actually get into the shaft to the elevator though. So John Walker makes a jump for it. They all get up.
Well, he had to because what's he was about to sneeze and let everybody go. Bob.
So John Walker makes the jump, grabs everybody, and as they're pulling him up, he touches Bob, and that activates his shame memory, which is basically John Walker going through press clippings about how he's the worst Captain America while his baby is
simultaneously being the worst dad ever.
Yeah, like bad father, bad husband,
worst
bad
dad ever. I mean, like I'm not trying to like
bad
worst dad ever.
There's
much worse dads out there. He's not inattentive father. I'll give you that. But
no, he was garbage, but not the worst. But it's such a turn from the supportive, the limited scenes we saw with his love interest at the beginning of Falcon and the Winter Soldier had her being so supportive of him, and so it's pretty garbage that he's such a distant.
Well, which is also interesting too, because they play off of that almost immediately when they first introduce him. They lead us to believe that the relationship's still roughly the same as we left it in, or I guess as it started off in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
We left it off because we left it with
he's
Val
lying.
But he's lying.
Things going well. Yeah.
20 minutes later,
and then the reveal that turns out to be a lie is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Val finds out.
They're working
Val
together.
finds out that they are not dead and that they're working together. So she sends a strike team in and also flies out to be on site to oversee.
Because she realizes Sentry's alive.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She
I don't think
finds
she knows
out there is a fourth. Go ahead.
I would say I don't know if they know that they know that he is a member of the Sentry Project, but I don't know if she knows that it's a success yet. Because I think
no, that's the reason why
reveal
she
that we
showed
get.
up, because he's the only one that survived.
He
survived
because he survived.
Right, but we don't. I don't think she knows the level to his powers later on, because there's like later on they shoot at him.
Well, nobody knows the level to his powers, but she knows that he's based on what they were giving him, he's going to be very powerful, which is why she wants to be on site to like bring him in.
Yeah.
Mel informs Val that there are 4 people, but Taskmaster is dead, and there's a random guy there, and they figure out, like you said, that it must be somebody from the Century program that they tried. She thought they were all dead. Evidently, one was just in stasis. So that is why she goes on site to capture him. As they're sending the strike team in, Val lets them know, hey, don't kill anybody, because I want the guy. So it's now non-lethal.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
which I love. I love the guys, but I set up for lethal.
Yeah.
And there's
very upset.
There's great like back and forth of like, how about we do this? This is my plan. Your plan won't work. Like the bickering and stuff between them is really good, because they don't have like everyone wants to be like take the lead, and I shouldn't say everybody. Clearly, Walker wants to take the lead. He's like, hey, I was Captain America, and she's like, yeah, for 5 minutes. Like there is a fight for power in this early stage, which is really good. Like this is the plan.
I didn't even find it a fight for power. It's more of a we're all assassin. Like the whole job is to be running solo, except for Captain, U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
And he's just doing because he's selfish.
Did
But
you
all
guys,
the rest of them are.
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, did you guys notice who the guy leading the Val's forces outside was?
Holt?
I only know him from 8mm.
What'd you expect? A monster?
And True Blood,
it was Frank Sabatka from season 2 of The Wire, just like we have Bunk, in Congress.
Yep, you're right.
To The Wire,
back the old Wire cast.
No, I like the idea. It's 8mm alums instead.
So I need to watch The Wire. Is what I'm hearing.
You should watch it anyway.
Technically, it's now canon in Marvel. Yeah. You watch it.
The Wire should be required viewing in all colleges.
Mm-hmm.
I never went to college.
It's one of the first shows that'll give you that ACAB feeling.
Yeah, fair enough. I've got that all in spades, so we're good.
Okay. It'll reinforce some of it.
It's a great TV show. It's very, very good. Did you in Born Again this season, the Clark Johnson, who's plays the investigator, former cop that works with Matt and knows who he is?
Cherry.
That guy, Cherry's also the Wire guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cop playing a cop.
Yeah, The Wire's full of everybody awesome. You should watch it.
Yeah. Especially when Idris Elba with the Baltimore accent.
We got the best goddamn product, so we gonna sell no matter where we are, right? Product, motherfuckers. Product.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's on there too.
That's
Holy
the
crap.
show. Yeah, and Michael B. Jordan when he's like 11 years old in season 1.
Yeah. You get Himdall and Killmonger.
Yeah, baby Killmonger.
Yeah.
So we've got the strike team setting up to take them out, and they're also getting prepared to turn off the power. And Bob's like, well, what do I do? And she's like, just stay behind me. Just stay out of the way. I'm going to protect you. Just don't do anything.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
She is very protective of Bob.
Well, did she give the speech already about it though? Because Bob wanted to stay back and die. That was his plan, wasn't it? And she gives him the speech of like, hey, live for a better day, or live for another day, or whatever, it gets better kind of situation. Even though I don't know if she believes it or not herself, she does give him the pep talk, which kind of
she
gives him a little bit of bonding.
Like a depressing pep talk, like everything sucks, but let's get out of here. Kinda,
yeah.
Yeah.
But at least it establishes a level of trust that's needed later on in the movie.
And compassion too.
Definitely. Well, it's also in contrast to what just happened 30 seconds earlier, where he gets no sympathy and kind of yelled at by a U.S. agent.
Yeah, I mean, and that's So they ended up finally starting to take the facility, and a fight ensues. There's some back and forth between Walker going too late and them not getting the power off, and so then there's a kerfuffle within the facility, and eventually, like, Yelena starts taking some of the guys out. Bob grabs a gun, and they end up like fighting off most of the strike force. And then at one point, like, I think she starts to fire at one of them, and they're like, "Stop! Stop! Stop! It's me!" And it's John Walker.
Yeah.
Who had
because John took on the
his
cost.
gear.
Yeah, he swapped.
He swapped his gear because he's like, yeah, where were you?
So when they sent Ghost out to get a truck.
Yeah, Ghost is out to get a truck. Goes out to get a truck. They dress up. The other three dress up in the gear of the strike team and act a fake injury to escape.
Another one too is that this is like when Ghost could have just ran off on her own, and they say that like, oh, she probably just went off on her own. She comes back, like she does. Like this is, I mean, the first time she had the excuse of saying like that I didn't like, oh, I couldn't get the elevator, so I came back for you. But she comes back from here, like where she could have just escaped. They're like, they've shown like there's bits and snips of her character in Ant-Man and the Wasp, where it's like she's not necessarily like a bad character. She's just been in the worst situations possible. So she's been forged into this ne'er-do-well.
Well, I think she also feels
they're
like
all
she
in
owes
like
Yelena
survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're all in survival mode. They're all loners, and little moments of trust, like working together to get up the elevator shaft and things like that. They're all, which by the way, I've heard someone point this out. This isn't like my observation during the movie, but when they were going up the elevator shaft, they kind of form an asterisk. That's their escape route.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that. I saw that.
I mean, I didn't notice it, but
it's just a nice little visual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and these little moments of trust build the team as they go along.
Well, because isn't Yelena's the one that grabs her before she falls, right? Or as she's falling?
I think so.
Maybe.
So.
Very likely. I'm not. That's the thing. It happens really quick, and I didn't process it fast enough because it's like he jumps and like uses the stick. So that's definitely a part where I'm like,
he uses the stick, but Yelena uses something like that claws into the shaft itself, and then she grabs hold of what's her name to keep her from falling.
Yeah, I've only seen it the one time. I really got to see it again.
But I feel like again, that's leading to my point of saying she feels like she may owe at least Yelena enough to be like, hey, I got to come back and save her.
Yeah,
it's worth noting. I think I will watch this one again, as opposed to Captain America and the Red Hulk. That I don't think I will. Like I'll probably watch this one again.
Yeah.
I mean, probably only on streaming too. Like I'm not, but it's like I'm going to be watching this one again as opposed to the other movies I won't.
No, you're gonna be watching Craven. Damn it, you have stuff to watch.
Oh man,
Craven time.
Chameleon,
oh, it's Morbin time, you guys. It's Morbin time in the Tron universe.
I hate that so much. We talked about that.
Does this mean we can have a crossover between Tron and Morbius?
Yes, that's exactly where we're getting.
Combined?
Well, and then
it's Morbin Tron.
I haven't seen Morbius, but I'm hoping that it makes sense for Matt Smith's character to also be the evil cybernet. Yeah, like the what is it from Terminator?
Oh, Terminator Salvation.
Cyberdyne?
Yeah, he needs to be the evil
Skynet.
Cyberdyne AI also.
Yeah,
that would make more sense than what we got.
Then it would actually make sense.
Yeah, I'll grant you that. But Morbius didn't give us any of that, so don't walk in hoping.
I'm not walking in. I have no interest.
Okay.
No, walk in. It's fine. It's definitely not a trap.
So we get them escaping in the truck. They get to a checkpoint.
They are being
Walker becomes
harassed at the checkpoint. They can see the fight.
Well, they're not being harassed. They're just being asked who they are.
Harassed. Yeah, Walker is not
just
keeping
like a cop
his cool.
Stop someone. Like, oh,
yeah,
you're gonna step into my
Who are you? And Walker goes dick mode.
Yeah, Walker is not keeping his cool. So
well,
Bob,
goes where he's always in that gear. Like that's just his.
Fair enough.
That's his idol. Okay, that's
He's in neutral dick mode.
Bob hops out of the truck and grabs a gun and starts. I believe he just starts shooting up in the air. Right? Yeah, he runs up in front of the facility and shoots up in the air to buy them time to escape. And the team promptly shoots the shit out of him, just peppers him,
unloads
with
him.
bullets. Valentina is screaming, "No shoot! Stop! Stop! Stop!" She gets them to stop shooting.
After about 50, 60 rounds have been put into him.
Yeah.
And the team starts driving too. Like they're like, no, he made it. He made the sacrifice.
He made the sacrifice, so we'll honor that. But then Bob gets up. Not a scratch on him.
I just want to say there was that one great line of, "Oh no, Bob helped."
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Elena's.
Yeah. Bob and flies straight into the air. Just shoots up into the air like a band. That
he floats for a second, then loses control and goes flying into the air.
Yeah. Flies into the air and then loses control and comes crashing down back to Earth.
Which knocks Walker, Ghost, and Yelena out of the truck and onto like the side of the road somewhere.
So
it's a crater and
And then he's airlifted out of there, and they're left on foot until a limo out of nowhere. Oh, we also missed too.
Turns out
that the driver for Val and Mel was actually the Red Guardian.
Well, because that's his gig. He is a gig worker.
He's
a limo driving service. Yeah.
And so he had heard about this, so he's like, he's trying. He shows up to help his daughter, it's so endearing. Like he is so like he's awesome. He's like no,
got the job because he wanted to be put in front of
Valentina.
He begs his daughter to get him some FaceTime with Val so he can become Red Guardian again. That's kind of a running joke. At least
it's really fortunate that the former head of the CIA, under investigation from Congress, doesn't vet her drivers very carefully.
Yes.
There was a time I would think that is impossible, but we live in today's world and okay.
Sure.
That tracks. Yeah, that's fine.
She found him on Signal.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we don't know if this was her first impeachment or not, two of which could do nothing
exactly.
At all. So, yeah.
Red Guardian picks them all up in his sweet limo. And they have a lot of good banter and back and forth about being a team and how we're not a team. But you are a team. You're a team.
That's where they discovered the name Thunderbolts from.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
had mentioned it.
Well, they kind of said
in
in
the facility,
cave,
right?
Yelena does.
Yeah. Because he's like, I'm a leader. I'm a born leader. I was the leader of my football team. Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, fine. So was I when I was the Thunderbolts. And
we're
there's
using useless, memories from back in the day.
Sports knowledge. Yep. Which I think all sports knowledge is useless. But carry on.
No, what a hater.
Nerd!
Yeah, that's right.
Then at this point, they see in the rearview mirror, we're being tailed. We've got people coming to get us because the strike team has spotted them. Probably because Red Guardian came screeching through and screaming, Yelena, no, don't go in. Don't go in. No, it's a trap.
Burgundy limo.
Yeah. So we have a little gunfight there.
I love that he's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hours too late.
Yeah.
So too late.
Yeah. Well, and he explains like he had to go get his costume on and then drive here because that's his mode of transportation.
But he also had to
Like
switch
halfway
limos.
across the
Remember, he
country.
had to bring his tactical limo.
Right.
Yeah, the one that's bulletproof-ish.
Yeah.
The countermeasures do not work as intended. He hits some buttons and a party starts. I forget what song plays.
Well, his countermeasure was a Molotov that he made himself. He improvised Molotov.
He made a Molotov, threw it back.
That's
tried to blow him up.
Good aim, though. By the way, let's it didn't work, but did a dang good job. Had it been a better material.
Well, he was just going
good on him.
The truck was going too fast.
The truck was going too fast.
The super soldier was throwing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was spot on. Like if he had a shield in his hands, done.
Oh, I missed his shield, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that they didn't have it just because U.S. Agent had his
shield. Yeah.
Yeah, like it would have been too.
Well, I think that's why they killed Taskmaster.
True. That's true too.
Too many shields. Too many super soldiers.
All right, we'll keep you, but you lose your shield. You're dead. You can have a shield, but
your shield becomes a taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sold. So then we get to how will our intrepid heroes ever survive? Turns out Mel, when she was talking to Bucky, said, "Hey, you could trace my phone, right?" And so Bucky shows up, and he's got that cool explosion gun, the landmine gun.
Yeah.
Disc
With the
launcher.
magnetic
It's a disc
explosives.
launcher.
Yeah. The
It's for
Ninja
Frisbee
Turtle
golf.
pizza disc launcher. Yeah.
I think there's something even
What he
cooler
used
than that,
on
though.
Nick Fury's car.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I wish they just flashed back to Nick and Nick going, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah, Nick's just like watching this all up on Saber on his satellite.
Hey,
Like,
he's got bigger
son
fish
of a
to fry. He's
bitch.
got aliens. Fuck Bucky,
Yeah, he's not looking down. He's looking up.
or at least around.
Yeah, whatever. Up for him.
Fair enough. Well, then he
right.
uses the grappling hook and does the cool
that
like fist
Bucky?
into the ground thing.
No, he doesn't use a grappling hook. He gets the winch off the front of the truck.
That's right.
That's
you're
right. Yeah.
And then he pulls that off. He also like pulls a cool like Terminator thing, grabs a gun, pulls it out of his hand.
Oh, flips it
the
over
winch.
while he's cocking it.
Shoots the tires out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He goes like
I
full all
love
the greatest hits.
contrast. Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole sequence is perfect. It's very Bucky doing all the Winter Soldier stuff that he's apparently been trying to get away from. But fish got to swim.
There's still old hat for him. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that also is in line with that moment in Falcon and Winter Soldier where he's like, Zemo's like, just pretend like you're the Winter Soldier still, and I'm controlling you. And he doesn't like it, but he's still it's still second skin for him. He's still it's unfortunate, but it's what he knows, and that's the kind of the push pull inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me.
So after
I
Bucky,
love later when they all are talking about their bad histories, and he's like, "I'm pretty good. My life's great." I've had a good history."
Yeah. After they get out of the void rooms.
Yeah, that's great.
After Bucky gets rid of all the strike team, he then
he
promptly
stops the limo,
blows up
too.
the back of the limo
Yeah.
and captures them all.
Yeah.
We then cut to Avengers Tower because it turns out that's where Valentina has set up her base of operations for
new
this
base.
project. Her new
rebase, I
base.
guess.
Yes.
Her new old base.
For this century project. And she meets with Bob and starts telling Bob how special he is and what a great hero he is and how powerful he is and how amazing he is. And is basically just buttering him up saying, I see the truth in you. I see what a hero you could be. No one else does. They all
The
suck.
potential, yeah.
But then Bob does make contact with her and she has a flashback, shame memory where she got her father killed.
Mm-hmm.
Basically as a child acts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say it's a slight nod to her history in the comics of her family being, I believe, part of like an Italian resistance, and her father dying because of that, because not because of her, but just her father's history with the resistance is what got him killed, and why she's
technically she wasn't running her mouth.
Well, no, I'm saying in the comics.
He's talking about it in the comic.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, because in the comics, she's a associate of Nick Fury's to a certain degree. Like she's in a frenemy kind of role in the comics with Nick Fury. So
competing organizations.
No, she also works for Shields too at times.
Oh, does she?
And and she's even like a off again, on again love interest at times. So just whatever the espionage story kind of fit for when they needed it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. I'm just saying that they do a little bit of a nod to that original origin while keeping it up to date because it's still modern day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So at that point, Valentina has to step out of the room for a second, but Bob then immediately agrees that he will go ahead and do it.
Well, she's a little worried at this point now.
Yeah, she is shaken by that.
Yeah.
I really like how her manipulation is so easy for her. Mm-hmm. And, when we get her backstory, we basically, that reveals that her telling someone things that made her life vulnerable got her dad killed, right? Mm-hmm. So like her spy nature and then running the CIA and manipulating all these ex-super soldiers and spies into being her like corporate espionage army. It seems really obvious that she is playing Bob, but for her own gain, but that it's very easy for her, Mm-hmm. That's who she is. And then later, when you see that she's already built in a safeguard for him, you know that she didn't mean anything she was saying.
Yeah, she just will consistently say whatever needs to be said to get to her next goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, we flash back to the Thunderbolts team. Sorry, cat attack. We flash back to the Thunderbolts team, who are all tied up and captured by Bucky. And Bucky has called in a plane to... oh, sorry, my computer's doing something weird. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit. So it's together.
We're back.
He's calling a plane to bring them all in, but they are explaining or trying to explain to him about Bob. He's agreeing, but also not believing them because they're all murderers, assassins.
Well,
so
he's also trying to do it the right way. He's like, no, you're going to go testify in front of the impeachment panel.
But at least from the way after he responds to the phone call, it seemed like previously he really didn't believe them. Because when is it Mel?
I think Mel calls him.
Yeah, so when Mel calls in, about Bob is when he
pieces it together. Because she starts saying the exact same things they were saying, and he's like, "Oh, okay, wait a minute." And they're like, "Yeah, Bob. We've been saying Bob this entire time. You weren't believing us."
What guy?
Bob.
Bob.
I think that's when he.
Yeah, well, he thought that they were working for Val at that point, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Because we're doing the thing where when we meet someone, we don't listen to what they're saying. We just go ahead and kill them like a scientist. We just
why would he ever believe? Why would he believe any of them?
Why?
He was also a spy assassin. Yeah, well, he knows how this world works. He's also been taken
advantage of. He knows people can be
turn around. That's the self-hatred.
Yeah, that's fair.
He sees them as working for her the way he was working for Hydra, but they're even worse in that they're willingly doing it, like in his.
Yeah, they weren't mind controlled.
Yeah,
right.
At least that we know of.
Yeah, he thinks they're the villains. Like, why? I don't see why. I get what you're saying. I just don't see what has happened that he's aware of.
Even if he doesn't.
I went the wrong way on that. That's fine.
Yeah, even if he doesn't see them as villains, he sees them as an ends to a mean. His real target is Val.
Yeah, and he wants to your point. He's trying to be like, no. If I have you testify, then I'm a good congressman. I'm doing the right job here. I'm trying to follow that path.
And
as opposed to let me go down the superhero path and go punch some dudes.
Well, I feel like I wonder, because it's very vague as to when he does quit being a congressman, because I feel like it happens right at this moment. Like he's already crossed the Rubicon to become, I'm going to punch stuff when he attacks.
He's still a congressman.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I mean,
just so we're clear.
Is he just flipping over a tank that belongs to the U.S. Army?
No, from what we know in the real world, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yes, fair
and
enough.
Say whatever you want, and it has no repercussions.
Right. He's out of line, but he's right.
If you're on a certain side,
you're right. But I'm saying, at least in the MCU world, he did attack U.S. soldiers. I don't know if he's any longer a congressman at that point.
Those are Val's covert ops.
Those are covert ops.
The public doesn't know that yet.
Yeah,
no, but unless he killed them, they will say, "Hey, Winter Soldier attacked us."
Where did he attack you? At a secret facility that was actually a burn site?
Well, technically in the middle of the desert. It'll be their word against his.
But that's my
point.
A
known assassin killer.
No,
hey, you know what?
A congressman.
What's the difference?
I don't see how it's gonna matter quick enough. But it is funny that later when they confront Val, she's like, I didn't have high hopes for you as a congressman, but less than half a term, and then you're like, well, I think he's still technically an elected official. He hasn't been impeached,
Yeah. I think that she just thinks that he's going to be killed right here. That's what she's alluding to. Which is because she's just like, you got he's under my control. He's going to kill you because I want him to, and she doesn't anticipate that he has his own free will still.